The beasts of mythology took many shapes, and the list of them could fill an entire book, and has several times. But the beginnings of a new art called science finally came along and knocked the underpinnings from beneath most of them. It was hard to believe in such creatures when scientists told us they weren't possible. Of course, those same early scientists told us flight was impossible, that the world was flat, that the earth was the center of the universe, and so forth. But they seemed to know what they were talking about, and mythological monsters gradually faded from the list of things to fear. Consider the poor dragon. In 1572, an Italian farmer saw a dragon crossing the road on 2 feet. It was only about 3 feet long and was apparently quite young, since its fire-breathing apparatus wasn't functioning. The farmer promptly killed it with his hoe. Then he dragged it off to town to show the authorities. A leading zoologist of the time took one look at it and declared it had to be an animal such had never been seen before in all Europe, namely a dragon with 2 feet. But other contemporary scientists said, no, hold on. Just because there was a body and evidence didn't mean that dragons were real creatures after all. Their main objection? The creature had only 2 feet, therefore it wasn't a dragon, it was only a monstrosity. The first reasonable scientific definition of monsters came in the 18th century, when Linnaeus put together his famous classification of all living things. He included a remarkable category which he dubbed Homo monstrous. It was a large category related to Homo sapiens, but quite different in appearance. Linnaeus had never really seen any of these semi-human species, but he had centuries of literature on which to base his descriptions. They came in a variety of grotesque shapes, people with pointy heads, people with tiny heads, people with bulging heads, with dog heads, with monkey heads, fish scales, hairy creatures, men and women with feathers. He had read about them all in the journals of leading explorers and traveling diarists. We can still see versions of Linnaeus' catalogue on colorful posters outside the freak shows at most circuses and carnivals.